Here we go on one of my first videos over my 1986 Cutlass Salon T-top build. This will be the first and probably one of the only how-to videos you'll get out of me. The rest of my videos should just be updates on how the build is going. As you can see, it's a frame-off restoration. A lot of the work will be done by someone else. I'm team thought it and bought it, not really team built. I watch a lot of how-to videos myself on YouTube. G-Body Garage, Mr. Get It In There, Big Deezy, a lot of other guys on YouTube, a lot of information out there. So you don't need my how-tos clogging it up. So this one that I'm doing right now, I'm doing it because I've seen so many how to build a rotisserie, how to build a homemade body cart, and for under $100. And that wasn't happening for me for some reason. I came up with a few different designs, different thoughts, going cement blocks and going with just a small cart on the ground. And none of those, either they didn't work out for me or they were going to be just as expensive as buying one of the carts from Summit or somewhere. So this is what I need. I need a stand high enough for my frame. Once it's complete, I want to be able to roll my frame underneath with the wheels and tires all still on it, without having to lift the body up again. I need it to be sturdy. I need it to be safe. I have very limited space, so that area right there is pretty much all I have to work with. This area over here, this is more so for my wife to park. And her and the kiddos, when they get in and out, I don't want this over here to be an issue as far as safety goes. So that's why I went with 4x6s. I'll show you my initial design. My initial design, no, that's the current design. My initial design was something like that. Actual cart where I could move the body around. But you know what? I'm gonna be down for the entire winter, so I just need a stand. So this is what I'm gonna go with here. And I feel like after it's all said and done, I should be in well under $100 with just this. And if I want to go a little over $100, I can come up with some type of cart where I go 4x6 all the way across and put me some casters on it and some brackets and braces. If this, what I'm doing now, if it doesn't feel as sturdy as I like it, I'll put me some more braces going across here. These are going away. These little 4x4s are going away. I'm gonna take these 4x6s and put them in the front, and then I've got some more 4x6s for the rear. And like I said, because I want to go higher and I want to be sturdy. Shake, shake, shake. Not sturdy. Not quite high enough. Right now I can clear the gas tank and the spare tire, but I have to take the casters from underneath in order to miss those. So that design I just showed you, in order to make it work, this is I'm testing it on top here, because on the bottom, when I secure that 4x6 underneath here, I'm gonna need it flat across here, but I still want to put my lag screws in and secure everything. So I'm got to make sure this is flat. So I'm going through with, let me see where my stuff is. Excuse the mess, but y'all know how it goes. Going through, and I'm gonna recess my holes here far enough down to where it'll be flat across. Secure it on top, secure it on bottom. All right, that'll get me high enough that I can clear the frame, will clear the body in and out. It'll be high enough to where if I need to get underneath the body and do some work, I can. Or if I just want to grab me a chair, set it up in here and start stripping the frame down, which is what I'll be doing the rest of the winter while I'm getting my parts together. I really shouldn't need to move the vehicle again. So I'm okay with it being a stand and not a car. I probably should have gotten that other door off, but you know what? I'm okay with it through the winter. Alright, so the rest of my videos will be more of the update type of video. We're going LS, we're going big brakes, we're going new suspension, new everything, you dig? Custom interior. So just ride with me, follow along with my build. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're back at it. Body stand build. Remember, 1986 Cutlass Salon T-top. Bunch of junk inside. I've got my holes recessed. I just tested them to make sure they were deep enough. Put my washer that I'm gonna be using down in there, and then just take the lag screw upside down and kind of run it around there to make sure that the head of that screw is recessed enough to where it's flat across the top. So that's all I did there. And then I'll measure, take my tape measure across here and measure the center of each hole, so I'll know where to put a guide hole on my support beam that'll go right here. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. I'll cut you back on when I'm doing the bottom down here, because I'm gonna have to measure the entire base in half, a half across the other way, so that I can make sure that the beam is supported or is dead center on that before I screw in from the bottom. Okay, back to the drawing board. I just thought about something. I am going to have to add 3.5 inches to my original plan, my 38 1/4, because it did not compensate for that extra 4x4 that I plan on taking out of there. So add 3.5 inches. Glad I caught it before I cut. Okay, here's what we got. I've got my rear legs cut down to size. I didn't do too bad with my circular saw. This is the straight ends. So a little bit of a lip. They're pretty even though. Got my recess holes that I talked about. This is the top. What I did was I kind of made me a mark. I don't know if you can see this or not, of where that 4x6 is there. I'm gonna make sure I slide this one or whichever one, slide it in there. I've got my measurement, like a little pilot hole going here. It's measured down from the top, same as those, and I put it dead center in the center of the 4x6. So I'll slide that under. Those legs, that's what we're calling these now, legs. Those legs on each side will move to the front. These will be my rear legs. And then the front legs will actually become the front feet for the front. And the rear feet, I've got another piece of 4x6 stored away that I'll make my rear feet for. Man, I probably need like some old Pythagorean theorem type geometry to tell me how wide I need those feet, huh? Alright, I might have to do some old Google action tonight, but for right now, that's it. Alright, second day working on my G-body body stand. Got my feet. I don't know if I had showed the legs being that I already cut for the rear, but now I got my feet. I would like my base a lot bigger than that, but that was those two together made the one piece that I had, the one spare piece. So without buying any extra wood, I just cut that in half, and that's what I came up with. If I don't like it, I'll take it apart and go ahead and buy the correct length. I didn't do my Google research either to find out what the correct length would be, but to feel comfortable, I wanted like 3 feet, 3 feet in length, 4x6 here. This is about, what did I measure that at? It's a little over 2 feet. So what I've done is I've found dead center on the foot, dead center on the leg, just matched it up, traced it out. I'll do the same thing on the other side. That way I just know where my pilot hole should be on the leg, so that when it comes through the feet, it'll have something to grab onto on the other side. Alright, so I'll flip this over. I'll do the same thing I just did on this side. I'll do the other leg with this other foot, and then I will connect the two. Probably an easier way. I probably put too much thought into it, but that's just what I came up with. All right, X marks the spot where I will recess and send my bolts, my lag screw through there. I did that on both sides, just so I know where my pilot holes are at, and I plan on attaching there. Okay, so I got everything set up on my feet. So what I did was went ahead, got the lag screws started, and then came under here, made sure that I'm back on center all around, and now I try to hold steady and tighten these down. All right, there you have it. One leg down. I'll do the other one the exact same way. You guys won't see that. Next time I turn the video on, I'll be preparing to put that under the rear and bolting it down to my 4x6 here, and then taking the front off, and like I said before, I'm using these for the front, so I'll be redoing those. Let's take a look at it. Like I said, I would have preferred more base down there, more feet, but I feel like once the weight gets on this, should be fine. All right, there you have it. She's all up for the winter, all screwed in. I'm happy with the height of it. I can get underneath there if need be. The frame, I've already actually even started a little work on the frame. I'll give me a chair, get right in there, and everything is nice and secure. It feels a lot more, I know it's shaking a little there, but it feels a lot more sturdy than it did before. I'm happy with it. It's a little dark over here. Can't really see down through there. But there you have it. As far as parts and money goes, I've got the 4x6x8s. 1, 2. I cut about a foot or so off for each one of those. I didn't need the x8. And then a third one you could use for the rear, or you could go 4x6x12, and that'll cover everything you need as far as the legs go, and maybe even your feet. Like I said before, I really wish my feet were a little longer, but I'm happy with it. And then the hardware, the lag screws and the washers, I was about $11. So you're in the area of about $70 altogether to put her up. There you have it.